welcome back everybody. It's Jackie and this is week 2 of the 100-day project, or days 8 to 14. I took a break from envelopes and I've made a tag a day this week. So I'm going to show you what I've made and then we'll do a quick tutorial, but I'll put that in a separate video. In the interests of transparency and honesty, I realised last Sunday when I started this first one, that this week that's just gone by was going to be really busy work-wise. So I did do some preparation. So I literally only had to put the tags together, not start completely from scratch each day. I don't know if that is against the rules, but there aren't really any rules. So I want to end up with 100 pieces of ephemera over however many weeks that takes. So this is how I'm doing it. So these tags measure, I think it's 2 by 7.5. They're all on Edith Holden paper, so it's a good way of using up the pages that you don't use in your junk journals. So they're mounted onto card. This one, I've just done some fussy cutting from a Digital by Chapter One papers. There's some doily, edges of doily, top and bottom, Tracy Fox tag and some crinkled seam binding in the top. This one is similar. I did cutouts again. I put some lace, glued some lace on the bottom this time, and a bit more of the cutouts over the top of that, just on plain card, and I have stitched around the edge of each one. Then I had a change and used some vintage cigarette cards over a doily. I put a tab on the top of this one with a little bit of ruffled seam binding, some embroidery thread, and I put the ruffles on the bottom as well. I liked that one, so the following day I did a very similar thing. I used a Tracy Fox tag this time at the bottom. This is the doily, obviously the cigarette card, and rather than putting the seam binding through the top, I just tied it in a slightly different way, just for a change really. So that's that one. If you've watched me for a long time, you'll have seen a similar tag to this a couple of years ago, and this is more like that one. So I had some coloured printed paper top and bottom. I think I used gift wrap actually originally, some vintage lace glued at the top here, and another bit of seam binding tied through the top there. So I liked that one. So I did the same the following day, or similar. It's not quite the same. Again, this is Chapter One paper. There's a little bit of doily here, some more vintage lace, and I've gone through the top again with the seam binding here. And then this morning I went back to my cigarette cards. I've done a strip of printer digital paper, I think is this. Actually this might be, I think that's Stamperia paper. Another cigarette card, and I went back to tying the bow through the 2 eyelets, as I quite like the way that looked, and there's a bit of fluff on the bottom of this one. So I will choose one of these to show you how I put it together and be back shortly.